all the kids that I volunteer with. That was a couple of them. You want to say hi to them? Say hi.
What's up? Wait, is that the record?
No, it's just a recording. I got a YouTube page. So I record it and I let people hear me volunteering. So it's just recording, that's all.
Oh.
So I can let people hear me volunteering. So they don't think I'm lying, so they like to hear y'all in the background. And do it like this is because you can't take pictures. So I do it like this.
You said take pictures?
Can't videotape. So I have to record. I want y'all to hear the blissful sounds of the youth. So Ethan, tell them what you learned today. Tell them what you worked on today.
I worked on cursing.
Curses? Not cursing, but cursive, like writing.
Yeah, cursive.
Cursive, yeah. That's what you learned too. Cursive.
I learned cursive, math, and I learned reading.
Oh, cool. All right. So that's what all y'all learned today.
Then I learned some big problems and multiplication. Like 11 times 12, that's 132.
Oh, cool. All right. Yep, y'all going to recess after this. All right, folks. Just want y'all to hear the youthful sounds of the youth. The blissful sounds. All right. Thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters. Just wanted to share. That was my son Ethan. I always speak on, and that's actually an old clip, but I did the old audio I recorded because you can't take pictures at school; it just look weird. But so I got an audio in there, and that was Ethan and all his siblings, and still that was maybe a year ago, almost 2 years. I've been in it for about 3 years. I've been volunteering, so it's been wonderful. We stick to it. Just never know what'll come across our path in this here journey. We stay with it, and of course stay right in our heart, mind, body, and soul. Can never go wrong. So salute again to my divine family, my biological family, my divine children, my biological children, and those were my divine children and Ethan. And it's wonderful. And yeah, they're going to be going to the 6th grade next year. So it's going to be a whole new group of kids, so it's wonderful. And being involved with the youth, because later on is what'll matter. The children that I'm connected with now, I always think about the future and things that are going to come down the road. So, the old saying goes, I know we hear it a lot, but what we put out is what we get back. So when it's righteous, man, it's beautiful when it comes back, because it will come back. It's same as vice versa. We all know toxic things, same thing. But we got to keep it positive, as well as knowing that truth, that hard truth, because as we all know, that hard truth is what got many of us in the space that we are in. Brother, sister, family, in the world, online. And I honor thy ancestors, man, who fought so very hard to get many of us in that great divine space that we are planted on and won't be knocked off. Firm, stand with, man, divine stability. It's beautiful when one finally gets to that. But as we all know, it takes practice, awareness, staying on it, learning from those old woulda, coulda, shoulda. Don't be stuck in that woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome, and no longer have regrets, lessons. Don't look at life as regrets. Look at it as lessons, That's how I look at it now. And when we went through those things and appreciative of life, and we put forth the effort, and we are giving to humanity and our culture, even if it's not on a big scale, just having a good soul and a good heart, you headed in the right direction. Because things always come when you're right in your soul. And I'm talking about before we even get to the deep spiritual, as I always say, just being a seeker of knowledge and, value, purpose, all those wonderful things that's good for us. And things will come automatically, maybe soon or later. It always goes back to how that individual is and that core. And then once we go through the levels and the lessons, and we're not faking, and we are got that authenticity just embedded in our soul, we finally reach that awesome ultimate peace. And the ultimate peace is so regal. This is part 2. And I'll put part 1 in the end screen where I spoke on and again, salute to Ethan and Lord Lamont. Salute to Lord Lamont, and welcome to another EBX and Lord Lamont show. Thus, EBX discussion. I meant to say that. And Lord Lamont and I will be speaking tomorrow. I had a lot to do today. Had to get some rest, but I was feeling inspired. I wasn't even gonna speak, but I was feeling inspired, and just felt like sharing with the current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, brother, sister, family. As Lord Lamont say, our fellow spell breakers, because we breaking all these toxic ass spells out here, you know. But it always starts with self. If you know thyself, man, could never go wrong, you know, with our mistakes and things we do. But we all are on our own journey, you know. There's all kind of things out here that can cause sickness or sway us, but it goes back to the mental. If you got a strong, healthy mental, nothing can fuck with us. I guarantee it. We have those that's living today that's been on this planet for decades that have shown us, as well as our ancestors. And I always got to give a rest in peace and in power to those we held dear, you know, and their spirit will live on through us, as well as my cuz, L'Oreal Lyrical, where I always talk about those I held dear in my family. May they rest in peace and in power, as well as those that are listening. And I'll be playing L'Oreal Lyrical in the hip hop break, and got 2 songs coming up, as I always do, for a little stimulation of the hip hop heads and music lovers. You know, as I always say, I love more than hip hop, but you know, I play it because I love hip hop. As I said in podcasts, you know, a while back, hip hop was my first love. Ever since I fell in love with it, but I'm married to it, ladies. Yeah, but going back to the ultimate peace is so regal. And what is regal is when you just reek peace. You know, you just reek righteousness. Like, I'll give an example. Many brothers and sisters I've met, even some of my family members. But one brother that I think would be an example is Rizza Islam. He is the epitome of peace and standing firm in his truth. You know, we could learn a lot from that brother. And his righteous vibration just jumps off of him, you know. And we need more brothers and sisters like that. And they are out there, you know. Just got to be in them circles to see it, and not bogged down with distractions that's coming at us at just about every angle. And what are those angles? Person, place, thing, social media, news, celebs, gossip, you know, all the things that's not good for our psyche. You know, got to be healthy, mind, body, and soul. And when we will come into that ultimate peace and see how regal it is. It's so regal. Seventh nature. You know, we just having peace and being peaceful is a way of life, more than just sounding. I mean, it's good uplifting. It's a good uplifting word, but when it's a part of our life, and a lot of us have that ultimate peace in our life, and the art of regulation. But like I said, this is part 2 of the ultimate peace. It's so regal, and I'll put part 1 in the end screen, and I'll put a father and son discussion in the end screen. I'll put the comedy one because we need to laugh. You know, we gotta laugh sometimes. We really do. Actually heard a brother speaking a clip about he was actually a pastor, but it was just a little small ad, and he was just speaking on that he was laughing. Something made him laugh really hard, and he's like, he just sat there and pondered that. It's like he forgot that he could laugh like that, and that's what we got to get back to, laughter, you know. And I'm gonna get into some brothers that I've been seeing in interviews that be cracking up and laughing, and I'll get into that. But I want to speak on the part 1 of the Ultimate Peace It's So Regal podcast I did. I put it in the end screen, and I spoke on one brother. Two brothers I grew up with, but I did speak on a brother. His name was Trey, and I made a song called "Rest in Heaven, Trey" right here on my channel. And my brother Les, they both transitioned. Les transitioned probably a few months back here recently, not too long ago. Trey transitioned about a good 2-3 years ago, maybe a little longer. And that was my inspiration for making that first podcast about ultimate peace. And I remember and salute to my brother Brent and my brother Clayton, who I grew up with. And I remember reading a paragraph that Clayton had posted, and it was on a video I did a tribute to Trey. And it was like, I don't know, like I said, 3-4 years old, but Clayton must have came across it, and he left a very heartfelt message in there. And I read it in that first Ultimate Peace podcast, if I'm not mistaken, and it made me cry. And as I mentioned in there, I haven't cried in years. And it was like tears of joy and also kind of tears of sadness, because I was kind of mourning my brother Trey and my brother Les. And salute to my sister Stacy, who is still alive, which is my brother Les' sister. And we go way back, like when I was 15, we were teenagers, go way back. And Stacy has always been a general, true blue sister. I will always speak highly of her. Most sisters I've met, I'm talking about personally, not online, but personally in my life, grew up with. She's the one that's been the general. She's the one that's always had my back. And we didn't even have a romantic relationship. Just was real good, close, brother and sister, real good friends. Her parents took me in, and, I was kind of having some challenges with my mom, but I was young. I take accountability for that. It wasn't all my mom. It was a lot of it was me. I was young. You know how I go. But my mom and I, we still cool today. And salute to my family, and may they great divine just be in all of our family's life. Keep us strong with clarity, and keep us prospering, keep us aware. So, my family's doing good, and the strong part of my family is the reason Brother EBS Cares is standing today. Real talk. Got to be grateful for those that helped us along the way, whether it's brother and sister, family, in the world, online, honor the generals, that's speaking that truth. But anyway, like I said, this is part 2 of Ultimate Peace. I put that one, part 1, in the end screen where I spoke on Trey and just how it's beautiful when one says finally, not just peace, but ultimate peace, when nothing can break it, bend it, stop it, confuse it, nothing. When you have that ultimate peace, nothing can fuck with us. I don't care what it is, system, person, place, thing, gossip. When you're righteous in your heart, you're good. You just stay with it and learn mastery of emotions, because that is important. And I'm gonna get into some of that. The art of regulation or navigation, and that's in our personal lives, ourselves, mind, body, and soul, in the world. Person, place, thing. Treat this world like a noun. Break it down. Person, place, thing. Be analytical. When you're analytical, you won't miss much. You'll see much, but you won't miss much. And that takes practice to get to that space. But it's beautiful when we do. And a lot of us are. Brother, sister, family. A lot of us are. And that at the beginning, and I did volunteer this week too, by the way, brothers and sisters. I volunteered yesterday, which was Thursday, and I volunteered Monday. I actually got 2 days in, and I'll be seeing Ethan today. And I might be seeing him tomorrow. And my son, Lord LAMONT, we'll be having our father and son discussion tomorrow also. And I just had a lot of things to do today. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on speaking. I think of this as self-therapy. It's beautiful, And when you can be your own therapist, man, it's wonderful, but it's not easy to get to. It takes practice. Again, mastering one's emotions. All those great things, And it's beautiful. Hold that thought. Be right back. All right, brothers and sisters, I am back. That was just a small little pause. Probably can't tell in the recording, but I had that was my divine kid, or my divine son. I always say my divine children, my biological. That was brother Dion, which is Ethan's brother. And it was kind of important, so I didn't want to record it. But I'm going over to see Ethan today, and that was just him calling, see what was going on, see when I was coming over there. So it's just beautiful being connected to children. As I said, I've been around Ethan's siblings, well, his mother's kids. I've been around them since they was babies, and we just have this bond, all of them, And but it's wonderful. But getting back to what I was talking about, I want to get into the art of regulation and navigation, which we better have in this life. And like I said, I volunteered yesterday, Monday, and I keep those updated on that. So let's move on over into the art of regulation and navigation. It's beautiful. And I want to speak on a sister that, I'm not gonna lie, I was attracted to on the job, actually. And my son and I, we spoke on this sister. And she, kind of did some things that I really, didn't like, but I ain't gonna get into it. But I have to hold accountability too, because we have to hold accountability for allowing certain things and understand that some of us, if not all of us, are carrying some kind of trauma, which equals certain behaviors one has. So we take that into consideration. I always take what Malcolm X said, rest in peace and in power. The conditioning that melanated brothers and sisters, some, if not all, that we have come up under. So I always take that into consideration. So this sister, and I have to say, dark complected sisters, that's my weakness. I love a dark skinned sister. I just think they so beautiful, and she's beautiful, and we have had good conversations. But again, it's things she's been through in her life, and make her the way she is, and things I've been through. So, but I've gotten at a place where I understand now. I don't play games with people, and and manipulate and all that stuff. I try to be as real as possible, because it's better that way, and you get more respect. Well, you should. We supposed to anyway. But I was silent from this sister for a while, kind of distanced myself, and I mean, not out of bitterness, wasn't mad, wasn't bitter, nothing like that. Was really, I would say, hurt more or less, because, but anyway, I was silenced for a while, and for a good long time, months, didn't say nothing to her, I work with her, so I broke my silence here recently. And, we just got to know when to express things, when to be vulnerable, when not. And don't look at vulnerability as a weakness or a simp. It's all depends on the individual. Because if you got integrity, and you confident within yourself, you got that divine confidence, there's no such thing as being a simp. Sometimes things do need to be expressed. So I went ahead and first I questioned myself, like, am I attracted to this girl? Do I like this girl? Why am I silent from her? And you got to think of the workplace, you work with them, stuff like that. This is a small, isolated incident, but I'm just speaking on things that some of us may go through in life, personal life, the workplace, etc., etc. So I broke my silence, and I just was honest with her, told her how I felt, and left it at that. Didn't go into a big explanation, and this was honest with her, even about the physical. And the physical, I was honest about it. I didn't come at her raunchy or nothing like that. Just told her what it was and was honest. And I won't get into everything I said, but I did throw in there that I'm a blessing and not an option. I did say that, but I told her I wish her well, wish her the best. That's how we got to be, because again, if some of us, if not all of us, carry some kind of trauma. So that's how I understand. At least we can, whether it's brotherhood, sisterhood, familyship, friendship, or it's a romantic relationship, we could at least divide or separate. Not divide, we separate in respect, and that's what's important. I've heard females say online that that's what a man wants overall is respect. Not love. We want respect. The love will come. If we got respect, the love will come automatically. Respect is the root of any relationship, hands down. So that, in a way, in so many words, is how I expressed that to her. But it might have been something I might have done that I had to be accountable for, that she pointed out to me. So I didn't take it to heart, and it was kind of good that I did go silent for a while, because those impulses, brothers and sisters, that's what get us in trouble. So it was good that I was distant. But we got to pick our battle. So I just felt in my spirit it was time to break the silence, and I just told her what it was, how I felt, and left it at that. Now, it was in a text, but we will see each other at work. I just, in the moment I felt it necessary to tell her, but I did tell her in the text. So she just gave me a heart emoji, and that was it. But it gave her something to think about, because something I always keep in my mind, And I know we got sisters and women that may be manipulative and want men for money and all that stuff. But I always look at the other side too. The things that some women deal with, we as men and brothers. Now, I'm not an expert in this area. I'm just giving experience, giving advice. We as men or brothers, we have to look at the woman's side too, what they deal with men. So we have to be different than other men and don't do the same thing other men do. Even if it don't lead into a relationship or transpire into you getting together, even if it don't, at least you'll know that you have respect for her and yourself. And she'll remember that, it'll be different than some man coming at her and hitting on, hey, baby, and F you and all that stuff. Nah, you'll get nowhere like that. Then you just be the villain. So it's better to step back, analyze, understand, again, like I said a little minute ago, that some of us, if not all of us, carry some kind of trauma. So that's what centered me. And I always be like, what would Malcolm do? When Malcolm went through all, when he got out of jail and then he became true to himself and he was on fire. Malcolm was powerful. He really was. And many other black leaders before him, brother or sister, I salute them, honor thy ancestors. Man, it fought so very hard to get many of us in that great divine space that we are in. And that's brother, sister, family, in the world, online. So I just wanted to share that. Now the ice is broken. Now she understands, because I didn't want her to think because I told her I wasn't mad. I was hurt more or less, but I ain't gonna, like I said, ain't gonna get into what she did, but some of her actions. And I told her, and we can say that, brothers and sisters, without coming off as weak. No, we know who we are. If we feel hurt, we tell them, be honest. Because at the root, in my opinion, I think a female, woman, sister, I think they would at least have that respect, but those that can't learn, and nothing we can do about that. We got to let life teach them, because life will teach them, real talk. So again, people free falling through life and don't give a damn. Danger. Life will teach them. We got to set them off to the side. We can be an example to them, give them advice, but if they don't want to learn, they want to be a negative magnet, let them stay right where they're at, but still teach at the same time. Just don't lose ourselves, whoever we are, in toxicity. Learn from the toxicity, but don't lose ourselves in it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, folks. Got to get rid of and get away from that woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. And so I just want to speak on that. And that's a part of the art of regulation. That's what we'll find out, especially up in age. I say levels of awareness, but we get up in age, we done been through some things, and we are wise. We'll know the art of regulation and navigation is a very important part of life. Actually, regulation can save your life. Mastering one's emotions, that can save your life. Playing out scenarios, that can literally save your life. And I'm not just talking about getting our lives taken, because again, as many of us have said, and I've said, we can be alive and still dead. Real talk. So, and that's worse, waste your whole life and never tap into that greater spiritual world, that greater things that great divine and Mama Nature has for us. But it's not going to come without dealing with that enemy within, if one has one. You have to be aware of it to know we have one, as well as a spell. Can't break a spell unless we know we're under one, right? I say that a lot. So that's what we got to do. As my son Lord Lamont said, we got to break them spells. Our fellow spell breakers, generals, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, break any spell, man, telling you, because our golden years is when everything will matter. All right, now that was just something I wanted to speak on about trauma and understanding, but not losing ourselves in it, because I always keep that in mind. I'm somewhat of an empath, but when we become generals as brother, sister, family, we learn how to regulate that empathy, don't we? Yeah, because man, it's wonderful to have it, but it can bring a lot of wrong things and wrong people your way, especially if they haven't dealt with themselves. That person, place, thing. All right. And I wanted to salute the OGs out there, and that's male, female, brother or sister that has been on this planet for a while. And I'm talking about the wise OGs. And I want to salute Mike Epps. I've been seeing him in a lot of interviews. Excuse me, you might hear some paper shuffling. I've been seeing Mike Epps in a lot of interviews, and he's been saying some really wise things. And salute to him, Gilla, Wallow, and Rizza Islam, as I spoke on earlier. Man, I'm telling you, AI can't fuck with Rizza. Real talk. Rizza Islam is a bad brother, and many brothers like him. They come in different kinds. We all are on our own. Everybody got their own journey, but we got good in our heart. We good. Nobody's perfect, as we all say, but we got good intentions and just living our life as brother, sister, family. I guarantee we gonna be all right. Great divine, Mama Nature will lead the way. Just have right in our heart. Everything else will follow. Amongst the challenges, again, positivity is free. Negativity can cost you. Ponder that. Yep. So salute to the OGs, man. Real talk. And Gilla said, you got your wise OGs, and then you got your original goofies, which is funny. They was cracking up. And salute to Gilla and Wallow. Wallow has, I'm pretty sure everybody know Wallow's story and been to penitentiary. I don't really know Gilla's story a lot, but according to Mike Epps, I guess he's kind of been through some things too. Then Mike Epps, we know Mike Epps' story. And we look back on our life, man. It's just, wow. It's like the choices we made to get us where we are. It's beautiful, and it's unfortunate that some didn't make the right choices. Because, as I said, and many of us like to say, I've said a million times, we can do one small itty bitty little thing that'll F up our whole life. Thus, Will slapping Chris Rock. Real talk. I mean, it messed up. From then on, his life, it hasn't been the same. And that's just one example. We got P. Diddy, many others. I'm just using some of these celebs as an example. I'm over the old celeb thing. I'm burnt out on it. I mean, when I first started like researching and the conspiracy theories and all that stuff, I used to be all, ooh, why? But now it's like, it's boring now. Now we got to focus on children, family, significant other, and mostly ourselves. Got to keep ourselves right at all costs, because we never know what'll come off the left, right? So I'm gonna get to this hip-hop break as I always do, and one song is a Phenomenal Chick by my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical, rest in peace and in power, Sam K and Shyree. Is Angela Jackson. It's Shyree, aka Samuel. It's Sam K. Excuse me. It's L'Oreal Lyrical, my cousin, like I just said, rest in peace and in power, Sam K. I've never met her, but Angela Jackson, aka Shyree. Forgive me for fumbling, but she produced a song for me. Won't stop. No, my aim is to the top, or something like that. When I say to the top, not like materialistically. I'm talking about as far as thinking, a level of awareness. That's what I meant in that song. Yeah, but she helped me produce that. She did the beat, and very talented and can sing her ass off. Man, she could sing. She did a song. She did the hook for Stop the Violence. I talked about it before. A song I did with my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical, and this brother named Four Verses. We did a song called Stop the Violence. And Angela Jackson, aka Shyree, she sung on there, and she has a very lovely voice, a magnetic voice. The girl can sing. She got that type of voice. She reminds me of SWV. You'll hear her sing, and you will swear it's a stereo. That's how good she could sing. Very, she had a very crisp, clean, sounding voice. But that's what's in the song in the hip hop break. Got that. It's called Phenomenal Chick, and they go raw in it, but they talk very intelligent, and it's about building. And in the song, they say they better than, they ain't no bad bitch. They're a phenomenal chick. Like, what is a bad bitch anyway? Real talk. Phenomenal chick sounds so much better, And they went a little raw in it, but if you listen to the lyrics, they had value in themselves. Sam K, I love her verse, and I love L'Oreal Lyrical's verse, And as I said in the past by my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical, she was phenomenal. She was very intelligent. Again, this computer stuff was nothing to her. I mean, if she was, man, I'm telling you, my cousin was here today, she would have a YouTube channel. She'd be bigger than me. I know she would. She had that type of ambition. Man, she would have been way bigger than me. She would have had a huge ass platform. I guarantee it. She would have been on her way, but may she rest in peace and empire. But her spirit live on through me. That's why I play her songs every so often, as well as those others in my family. I always keep their spirit in me. Those I held dear, may they rest in peace and empire. So let's get to this hip hop break. Again, the first song is Phenomenal Chick, and the next song is Stand Up Right. And I've played these songs before. Let me see, I got to get to it. Yep, I played these songs before, but it's been a while. Yeah, and that was nice having those kids, and my son and them. I just love, it's like I said, hearing the laughter of kids and children play. It's the same frequency as being in Mama Nature. It's wonderful being involved, Just things back in the day when, before a brother got to where he is now, just didn't think about it, We get up, get wise as an OG, a real OG, and we begin to see what's important. So, all right, let me see. Matter of fact, the first song is going to be Stand Up Right. That'll be the first one. Okay, I got to get to it. Let me see. All right. And the next song is Phenomenal Chick. And I got some breakdowns of the art of regulation, brothers and sisters, and navigation, which is so important in this life. Social media, the world, man, et cetera, et cetera. We better know the art of regulation, especially in ourselves, our body, mind, body, and soul. All right. Be back after this. Stand Up Right. Yeah. Wake up music. Yeah. My brothers, we gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Brothers gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Hey, and sisters gotta stand up right. And never go out without a fight. And I do what I gotta do. And I gotta kick this through. I want us to win and never ever lose. Never be confused and be an intelligent brother and sister and never no fool. And to watch our children and protect our family. And we try our best or do our best to stay free. Deep within is the only way to win. And yeah, I don't care about toxic shit or no sin. I don't get lost up in this shit. And I just keep this beautiful gift. And I just try my best to lift us up and always be uplifted. In our soul is how one stay strong. How stay up in these songs. And I protect a Lord LAMONT in his own. My children and all of our families. Gotta watch, there's so much going on out here in these streets. Let's go. My brothers gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. And I've been through some things, and this is why I sang. I keep on doing this, and I make your ears ring. Yeah. With nothing but true power in this life, and I crush that devil every hour. Yeah. I've been through the fire, that divine I admire. I sing in these songs to lift our souls higher. And yes, some new things, and never be no lame. And stay smart, brothers and sisters, never be no lame. And don't go insane. Brothers gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Hey, sisters gotta stand up right. Yeah. And never go out without a fight. Real talk, I meant every word of that, brothers and sisters. Gotta stand up right, you know. Love doing music, you know. Salute to my hip-hop heads out there and you know, my music lovers, you know. Because I like all kind of music, not just hip-hop. But, as I said, hip-hop is my first love, you know. And it's wonderful. All right, let me see what's going on here. All right, I'm going to play this song here in a minute. And it's called Phenomenal Chick. Hold that thought. Hold on. You know, the computer be acting up sometimes. Next song is Phenomenal Chick. And as you can see on the banner and or thumbnail, I meant to mention, you see I got the universe. And it's a representation of being like the sun. Things evolve around us when we're righteous and in our right. And being accountable in this life. Y'all know I'll be around. I don't be meaning to. And so that's what I want. Things evolve around us. Jobs, social media, the world, etc., etc. It evolves around us. We hold the power, you know, but with great power comes what? Great accountability. Not responsibility, accountability, you know. And no, that sounds kind of cliche, but I'm telling you, we keep living in this life, as my grandmother used to say, rest in peace and in power. Keep on living, buddy. You know, what we put out, what we all say is what the heck we get back. That's more than just a saying. Keep on living, buddy. My grandmother said, and you'll find out. But that's what this represents on the banner here. Be like the sun, let it evolve around us. Nothing is more powerful than the sun. So ponder that. And it's a part of nature, Learn everything about nature we possibly can, real talk. And it will lead us to so many great things in our life. Just learning things, period. Especially if it's good, good for our mind, body. And so you can never go wrong. All right, next song, Phenomenal Chick. And we're going to come back and get into some summaries of the art of regulation. All right, be back after this. My generals.
Giuliano, we no free, no 30G, on some rap shit, kind of trap shit, on the mad shit, getting mad.
Never sue the person who hit you after a car accident.
Sorry about that, folks. Please forgive me. Let's start this again. Hold on. I messed around and hit the thing. Forgive me for that. I'm not going to edit it out either. I messed up. Let's go again. Phenomenal Chick. Forgive me. Hold on. I got to turn it up. Forgive me for the fumble. It happens. That's why this is a part of being human. Here we go. Phenomenal Chick.
Giuliano, we no free, no 30G, on some rap shit, kind of trap shit, on the mad shit, getting mad, phenomenal team. I talk for one people good credit, I make it wrong ring, I clean on speed, phenomenal team. I'm a real unparalleled chick, don't compare me to no bad bitch. I ain't shit, better get your mind right if you're trying to stay the night. Niggas got the game fucked, asking about that life. If it's about nice cars, big house, stay fly. Gotta have way more than just the progress. Put it down, put the meal hands down. Part in my phenom, way more than the dime. Say you want a real chick, the shit you gotta deal with. Keep my hands on my hips when I'm talking that shit. Oh, so end up in it. From my door for your chick, she need the 10 till your kids get off the step. You ain't hearing this, money make the world go round. I'ma get it, I bet it make it do go down. Like really? The money keep on coming back, phenomenal was west side. Black for the big, phenomenal. Yeah, I fuck a bad bitch, I'm a phenomenal team. I talk for one people good credit, I make it wrong ring, I clean on speed. A phenomenal team, bad bitch, I'm a phenomenal team. I talk for one people good credit, I make it wrong ring, I clean on speed. A phenomenal team, phenomenal cheat. Hook saying nothing, gotta spell a whole shit in every room that I enter straight. Conquer that bitch, sometimes my words be so twisted, need a correspondent. Rosetta Stone, off a ball, just to understand it, and even still a little much for your comprehension. Why you worry about that bullshit? That's KB on cash. Money talk so much on my tongue, it's like threats on my 9 to 5 be clocking straight, busting my ass, but I bust move if I have to. Off 1 or 2 packs, but I ain't gotta do that. These benefits I'm cooling, focus on this music for a 1K booming, even back for some schooling, get my resume booming, building an empire while I orchestrate this music. One day I'm a headline, a worldwide tour, till shine time, grind time, gotta secure my future. Bitch, I'm a phenomenal team. I talk for one people good credit, I make it wrong ring, I bleed on speed. A phenomenal team, bitch, I'm a phenomenal team. I talk for one people good credit, I make it wrong ring, I bleed on speed. A phenomenal team.
I ain't got my money, I'm not struggling, it's the hustle in me. Grinding, yeah, I be doing my thing. I don't give a fuck what you others do. Keep my mind on my next move. Ain't I, baby,
Yeah, they killed that song, real talk. That's Phenomenal Chick, L'Oreal Lyrical, rest in peace and in power. Sam K and Shari, a.k.a. Angela Jackson. And salute to Black Lab, which produced that. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking Sam K. She might have did that beat. I don't know, because it sounded like I heard her sing Black Lab in there. So I don't know that for sure, but salute to Black Lab, which my cousin Laura Lyrical. She got other songs she did on here too. And I think they were all produced by Black Lab. So salute to them, and any independent artist or beat maker out there that loves what they do and do what they love. Real talk, because that's what it's about. Something I say a lot. Love what you do what you love. Just as long as it's what? Not hurting ourselves or hurting no one else. So let's get back to the breakdowns of the art of regulation. And again, forgive me for the fumbles, and I didn't mean to do that. I think I hit the tablet or something, but you know, that's a part of being human, right? And we have little tests in this life that knock us off course, but if we have practice and our stability is solid and firm, nothing can throw us off course. I don't give a fuck what it is, person, place, thing. It's something else. Before I get to this breakdown for my leaders and teachers, those who listen, fellow spell breakers, brother, sister, family, before I get to this the breakdown, some summaries I got of the art of regulation, I just want a little side note. I never thought we'd be living in a time where some people would get mad. How can I put this? People will get mad at you for respecting yourself. Is that such a thing? Are we really living in a time like that? That's crazy. It's like people really get mad at you because you are on to them. You won't let them manipulate you. I'm not talking about nothing specific, just in general. I mean, I've experienced these things, but just kind of throwing it out there because I've heard other stories from other people too. Like, that's when you know one hasn't dealt with themselves within. If you mad at somebody because they won't let you disrespect them, there's a problem there. That's some true trauma. That's why I say we all have to know our trauma within if we're able to. If we're not trying to, we're bullheaded, we don't listen to nothing, and we're negative all the time. Danger, danger, danger. I really feel sorry for people like that, you know, because I will admit it was a time I used to be stubborn and didn't listen to nothing and thought I knew everything, and that'll get you nowhere. If you're not open to learn things, especially things that's good for us or that can help us, sometimes a little criticism. I'm talking about righteous criticism. You know, we gotta take them hard truths about ourselves. That'll just make us grow and elevate. But those who are stuck and stagnant and always a victim, danger, danger, danger. So we talking about healthy people now that are aware of what they're doing and can change, but won't change. So again, a lot of us have blazed through some fire, some impossible things. Our ancestors, as I always bring up, you know. So one can do greater, can do better, can do better, can do greater. It always go back to if one wants to in that core, if one wants to change, you know. All right, let me see. All right, I'm gonna get to these summaries. And these breakdowns, and I'm gonna salute you, divine warrior zone, to your divine life. Let's get into the art of regulation and navigation in this life. And as we all know, many of our philosophers have said it. Many of us are standing firm today, wherever part of the world we're in, wherever journey we're on, you know, wherever we're at in the part of the universe, in this big, vast universe, you know, like my banner here, you know, we all know regulation can save our life. Literally, regulation can save our life, but I didn't say that already. You know, knowing one's emotions, like when I talk about the sister at the job and stuff like that, things can transpire and fester. So, and just be honest. Like I said, even if one not going to be around each other or whatever the case may be, let leaving be in respect. Even if the other person isn't, we leave in respect. We control us. We are the captain of our ship at the end of the day. Especially if you're in your right, you haven't done nothing wrong, you know, stay righteous and just do like we've been doing, you know. So let's get to it. All right. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Let's go. And the art of regulation, individual benefits, improved emotional health. Regulation of emotions can lead to a better mood, increased self-confidence, and greater life satisfaction. Like I said about me speaking on that sister at the job. Now the ice is broken. There's no tension there. And if nothing else, she'll have respect for a brother. And again, like I said, men, brothers, we have to be different than other men, but you know what? A lot of men are changing, because I've been seeing videos. Got a lot of men waking up out here. Got some upright brothers that's doing their thing out here. It's not with the bull. Some of these women now, some of these sisters, they better get it together, because a lot of men are getting it together. All right. The next summary: enhance resilience. It helps individuals cope better with stress and bounce back more quickly from adversity. We learn from, they're not regrets, they're now lessons. Adversity just builds us, makes us better. Going back to Gilla and Wallow and Mike Epps, the stuff they've been through, horror stories, and that's not just them. A lot of us have. That's what make us the generals we are today. The art of regulation is what helped us and guide us, as well as the spirit of that divine and Mama Nature. All right, next summary. Better relationships. Self-regulation fosters empathy, but we got to watch that empathy, as I was just speaking on. Some people get mad because we cling to our integrity, which it's weird, but that's a reality. People are, that's how messed up, that's how much trauma people carry, and some are aware, some are not. All right. Self-regulation fosters empathy and understanding, understanding, and overstanding, like that sister I was speaking on. I understand why some sisters are the way they are. But again, as brothers, and many of us that study human nature, we already know we don't lose ourselves in their toxicity, because everybody has a choice. All right. Understanding, understanding, and overstanding, leading to improved connections with others in personal and professional settings, as I say, at the jobs, in personal lives, etc., etc. Successful goal achievement. It is crucial for goal-directed behavior. Have a purpose in mind. Like I said, my weakness is a dark-skinned sister, but we got to look beyond that, because as I have learned, and a lot of us brothers have, that beauty can get us in trouble. We got to hit that core. We got to hit that soul. We get up in age, we'll realize how more important that is. I use that quote from Thin Line. What that dude said there: the older we get, the better choices our genitals will make. That is so freaking true. That's from a movie. This might be cliche, but it is true, man. So, and sometimes we need little realities to make us check our own selves too. Make sure we're accountable, not just looking at the other person, so we don't fall into that victim shit. All right. Successful goal and achievement. It is crucial for goal-directed behavior, enabling people to manage impulses. Because I love to say, impulses are out of control in this world. Social media, you guess it. Stay on task and plan for the future, but be present. Again, if you're in your right, you have the right to defend oneself. And I'm not talking about really physical. I'm talking about emotional. Because as I like to say, if you play out scenarios, we'll miss a lot of toxic things. We'll miss a lot of stuff. And see the bigger picture, as my son Lord Lamont say. Rest in peace. See the bigger picture, Lord Lamont. And rest in peace and power to those who meant well. That's what I'm getting ready to say. Those who meant well, that led, that left a righteous impact. Man, that's power. When you have been like, I always bring up Malcolm X, but many others like him. Just ponder that, how powerful that brother was, and his spirit still among us today. So some of us are clinging to that spirit because, as I like to say, the truth comes for all of us. It's just a matter of what we do with it. But we all get that truth, whether we hide it, bury it, denial, or we run with it and take that truth and share it to others. And a lot of us do that. But those who don't, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't care what antics we do to try to hide the truth within ourselves. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to hide. So going back, and I want to take that example and relate it to what I was talking about. I went silent from the sister. And again, it wasn't in bitterness, but I was a little disappointed and hurt. See, some men, not all men now, some men not able to do that, to really deal with the real feelings within, so we're not blind by beauty and lust and all that stuff. We can get to the core of the issues of ourselves and maybe the other person we may be feeling something for or something about. So again, it's not regret, it's lessons, brothers and sisters, and we learn what not to do in the long run, and then we will become powerful, because we can be cosmic beings. It's not impossible, but we have to be in that space. We got to get out of this small-minded thinking and stop letting entities around us, the system, social media, make us small in this little bitty bubble. It's a big ass world out here, so much information, and the mind is like the universe. It's so vast, so many things that we can learn to better ourselves, mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel on that wonderful, wonderful psyche, and never stop filtering. Never stop filtering things that we don't need in our subconscious, in our thinking. Because destructive thinking leads to destructive behavior sooner or later, as well as positive, thinking can lead to positive behavior, even when it's not easy. Like the situation I just spoke on again with the sister. I used positive energy in there, and I let her know what I needed to let her know, but kind of in a positive way, not coming at her nasty or nothing like that. Just was truly honest with her. And it's just something just jumped in my spirit, like, Eric, just talk to her, just be honest with her, so and you just feel better. And to be honest, it felt like a weight was lifted, because maybe I was carrying something I wasn't aware of. So that's why it's good to talk. And I know we have I see a lot of podcasts where people are talking about relationships, and I know we're seeing a lot, and it's almost becoming a trend. But I will say this: I would rather see people talking about relationships and talking about it than not saying anything, because it's better to talk it out than to harbor it, especially if it's bad. And it's something because again, when you're holding in negativity and you're hiding what's inside for so long, you will implode, and then you'll explode. That's where all this crashing out comes into play. People not dealing with shit, so I've been there too, but I've learned, as many of us have, brother, sister, family, in the world, online, we have learned from them woulda, coulda, shouldas, and we have finally reached that ultimate peace. And it's so freaking regal, isn't it? It's nothing, when we get used to it. We start choosing peace over drama all day long. Man, it can be challenging sometimes, to be in our little solitude moments and be by oneself. But, we remember why we have peace, and we got to protect that peace, because you got entities out here that don't respect boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Again, it's nothing specific, just a general thing. So study peace, look it up if you have to. Even though we know what it is, go deeper into things. That's what we do. That's how we expand our minds and become better and share it to others, because that's the comeback. When we share our knowledge, like Mike Epps doing, and many other people, that's how people end up being blissed and blessed, when we share it to others and it impact them. That's the comeback. When we say what we put out, what we get back, is through others that we have shared our positive energy to. And that can be brother, sister, family, children, in the world, online. Whatever we put out, it will always come back, and just keep doing what that great divine has called us to do, brother, sister, family, and don't clout chase, and don't look forward, and just be who we are, and we'll breeze through this life, So again, this has been another EBX discussion on the old EBX and Lord Lamont show. And as I said, Lord Lamont and I will be having a father-son discussion tomorrow. I already got a topic. And keep on regulating, brothers and sisters. Keep on navigating through this complex, toxic-ass world. Sometimes can be toxic-ass world out here. Be observers so we don't get caught up, because we need reachers and teachers out here. We need generals in our families, brothers and sisters, in the world, online, and in children. As you've seen in the beginning of the podcast, children just as bright and intelligent as they want to be, and I thank that great divine, for putting that in my spirit to volunteer and connect with children, because I'm seeing the righteous impact, I'm seeing the comeback, real talk. So, and it just get better. It just get better and better and better, with one that's whole and pure as we can be in our heart. As long as we don't got wrong intentions, I think divine can work with us. If we're righteous in our soul and we mean well, I'm talking about for real now, not that fake crap. That gives something that great divine, Mama Nature, can work with. And we will feel and see that ultimate peace. And it will become so freaking regal. So y'all stay great out there and stay being the spell breakers we are. Salute.
Thank you.